Boy, oh boy, am I caffeinated up this morning. So, we have a new Tropical Depression 22, forming in the Gulf just behind Hurricane Sally and all that we dealt with. And we have Hurricane Teddy, a major hurricane in the Atlantic right now, projected to go towards Bermuda and the Northeast, New York, Canada, Maine. Are we next? Welcome back, everybody. Good morning. September 18th, 2020, 10:27 a.m. Taking a look at the Atlantic Ocean once again as the peak hurricane season continues to ramp on. We have major Hurricane Teddy in the Atlantic Ocean making its way towards Bermuda. Now an official threat to the northeast. That is New York, Maine, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Vermont, Maine, and Canada now in the crosshairs of Hurricane Teddy. Also, a new and officially our 22nd tropical depression of the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. Tropical Depression 22 is forming in the Gulf right now. Projected to be a hurricane, going to sit in the Gulf for the next 4 days to strengthen. Minimal shear wind right now. We could be dealing with another Sally within the next 5 days. It has nowhere else to go but one of these Gulf states, and it's projected to move north. We'll look at those plots, and we'll also look at Teddy. As you can see here, number 22 is 35-mile-an-hour sustained winds, 1,005 millibars in pressure right now. We're going to look at the spaghetti plots for this storm because it's a little messy. Now, first thing we want to notice right off the bat is that we have our H symbols in there, so they are projecting this thing. The National Hurricane Center is projecting this to become a hurricane, and once you're a hurricane in the Gulf, chances are, at least this time of year, you're going to make landfall as a hurricane. Now, the only issue with this storm is the track for it, and look at these spaghetti plots. Now, most of the plots do agree in that this storm is going to move from the spot it's currently at right now, where my cursor is, in a northeastern direction and then get affected by some sort of pressure, more than likely the Bermuda Atlantic pushing in pressure into the Gulf like we see coming over Florida and then into the western part of the Gulf. That's why we're going to see this left turn, sort of a trough up in the United States as well with the jet stream. And then you're going to see this thing wiggle more to the right. So we can see the plots are all over the place, but they all pretty much have the same idea going on. That northeastern movement, then a western movement, and then repeated again an eastern to northeastern movement. Now, depending on how much ground that covers in a northern direction is going to depend where that landfall may be, and chances are we are dealing with another hurricane landfall, and this will be our last letter of the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. Our 21st letter, W, Wilfred, and then we will go on to Alpha, the beginning of the Greek alphabet. So we're seeing this sooner than later. We just had Sally affect Alabama, almost Louisiana, and now we have what's going to be more than likely Tropical Storm Wilfred by the end of today, affecting Texas and or Louisiana as of right now, according to these plots. And again, it's very important to take a look at the time frame here. We're looking at this storm sitting in the Gulf for the next 2, 3, maybe 4 days. You can see Tuesday early morning, we are just off the coast of Texas. That's almost 4 days from now. So this thing has 4 days to sit in this bathtub water and get stronger, just like Sally did. A lot of the early projections for Sally did not have it getting too strong, but that storm did get strong, 110, 120 miles an hour at one point, and then weakened a little bit before landfall. The Gulf is prime real estate for hurricanes right now, and we can see that clearly as the moisture is exploding in the Gulf right now ahead of this storm. It almost looks like as if this storm's central low pressure system is a little bit more north than where it's claiming. We're going to get more updates on it as the hurricane planes fly through it and measure exactly where the center of that pressure is. But then we have another issue to worry about, and that is major Hurricane Teddy, which is threatening the northeast of the United States, believe it or not. All right, let's take a look at this mess here, and this is Hurricane Teddy, major Hurricane Teddy, 130 mile an hour sustained winds right now, which is pretty incredible for a hurricane to get that strong this early in its path. So we're going to watch Teddy, which is right here by my cursor. It's going to come up by Bermuda and then come dangerously close. All right, let's take a look at this mess here, and this is official Hurricane Teddy, major Hurricane Teddy, 130 mile an hour sustained winds right now, which is pretty incredible for a hurricane to get that strong this early in its path. So we're going to watch Teddy, which is right here by my cursor. It's going to come up by Bermuda and then come dangerously close to not only the northeast of the United States, but also Canada. So we're talking from New Jersey. Basically, we can safely say the Chesapeake Bay all the way up to Canada is prime area for this storm to possibly go. Take a look at where the Navy model has it going, and we're going to explain why. There's a high pressure that moves over top of Teddy over the next couple days and then splits, and it depends on where where each half of that split goes, where this storm is going to go. If it's going to make that hard left, almost like Hurricane Sandy did a few years back into New Jersey, made a hard left turn towards the west, right into New Jersey, and it's showing like Teddy wants to do the same exact thing just a little bit later, which would put it a little closer to the areas of Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, very, very northeast territory. So here we go. I'll move this once again, and boom, it looks like a Maine landfall right here as a major Category 4 hurricane. It has been a long time since we've seen anything of that sort take place in the Atlantic Ocean. Some of the other charts offer a little bit more information or a little bit different information. Again, we got to take into account that each of these charts predicts a different outcome, and we got to kind of meet in the middle, or at least kind of see what the basic idea is going on. And what that is you're going to see a high pressure bubble way up here, and as Teddy moves up towards the northeast, as it passes Bermuda right here, you're going to see that high pressure begin to interact with Teddy itself, and it's going to split over top. It's almost going to look like a hat on top of this storm here, and it's going to break off on this side and break off on this side. So we'll move up into the near future, and you see that high pressure blankets over Teddy on either side, and you're going to see the high pressure break, and there's the break right there. There's one half of the high pressure, there's the other, and depending on where this left side high pressure goes is going to determine that steer into the United States, whether it happens sooner or whether it happens later. So each of these charts, for example, the CMC, the Canadian model, has this breaking up, and then we have some sort of landfall going on in Canada. So we have 958 millibars. That's a strong Category 3 to 4 hurricane making landfall in Canada by September 22nd. That is the one high pressure situation. Now we will take at the European model right here, the ECMWF model, and the same situation is going to take place. We're going to ride this hurricane up to the northeast. We have the high pressure moving over top of it, blanketing, and then we move forward again. That high pressure breaks, high pressure bubble here, high pressure bubble here, and it makes an even more of a northern landfall in Canada. So these high pressure splits right here are really going to determine the steering of this storm. And finally, we have the GFS to look at. Let's see what they have to say. Basically, we move up here, still a very, very strong major hurricane going on in the Atlantic as we're dealing with what's soon to be Wilfred, another Gulf hurricane that we're going to be dealing with. And there's the high pressure system once again over top of Teddy, 964 millibars, blanketing over. Let's see where this break takes place. And there's the snap. One high pressure over the northeast United States, basically bordering Maine and Vermont, New Hampshire. The other half of the high pressure is on this side, and let's see where it turns that steering. Boom, a little bit of a shallow hook in towards the United States, and then a northern hook. So any of these high pressure systems could make any slight difference and change everything. So the main model with a northeast United States landfall is the Navy model, the rest of which are showing a possible Canada landfall, which is very, very rare for the Atlantic hurricane season. All right, my friends, I've taken up enough of your time today, but just take a look at the Atlantic Ocean as a whole right now. You can see over here we have soon-to-be Tropical Storm Wilfred brewing in the Gulf, affecting Texas and Louisiana in the coming days. And then we have major Hurricane Teddy making its way towards Bermuda and then the northeast of the United States. I will be covering these storms very closely, especially these two that we have active names for. Again, soon to be Wilfred is my prediction in the Gulf for this storm. We're basically there, and with the amount of time it's going to be sitting in that warm water, we have a lot to worry about with this storm. And then the northeast may be getting hit around the same time as landfall in the Gulf. The timing is very close, very peculiar. My friends, I appreciate you all coming to the channel for these updates. If you have not already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Every little bit helps, and I enjoy putting this info out to you on a daily basis. Of course, shout out to Canada, especially with Hurricane Teddy on its way, possibly also the Northeast, and shout out to Ontario. Thank you all very much. Be safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.